Hey guys, Skyman here and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about why you should wait before upgrading your graphics card, especially if you already have a high-end chip from the Pascal 10 series generation from Nvidia, like a GTX 1070, 1080 or 1080 Ti. Let's get into it. So, I just wanted to make one thing absolutely clear. For this video, I'm going to be talking about the high-end GPU market because if you're looking for a mid-range graphics card that can handle gaming in 1080p and some, light 1440p use, then you should go for an AMD Radeon 5600 XT. All the benchmarks show that this is the card for 1080p gaming right now because it beats all of the competition. Credit to Paul's Hardware for these benchmarks, which you can currently see on screen. As you can see from the benchmarks, thanks again for Paul's Hardware for these benchmarks. You can go watch his video if you want to see the full video, but the 5600 XT absolutely destroys all of its competition in gaming, just in game tests. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about synthetic benchmarks because in the real world, that's not what most people do. They're useful just for benchmarks, but we are looking solely at benchmarks only. So as you can see, the 5600 XT destroys its main competition, which is actually supposed to be the 1660 Ti. And because of this, Nvidia actually had to lower the prices of the RTX 2060, and they also made a 2060 KO edition. I guess they wanted to just, bring the competition back to AMD, which is very good for the PC gaming market and any market when there's lots of competition. No one likes monopolies, which actually leads me on quite nicely to what, we're really going to get talking about today. The high-end graphics card market, in its current state, is quite frankly messed up. So, let's get this out of the way first. The RTX 2080 Ti is a great graphics card. It is an absolute monster for ray tracing. However, I would not recommend upgrading to this card if you care at all for getting good value for money. Even though it's really the only option for this kind of power right now, you see, Nvidia have essentially created a little monopoly for themselves in this high-end range of graphics card. And that's partially AMD's fault as well, because they haven't actually been competing in this end. Look at what they've come out with so far. Their cards are really meant to compete with, at most, a 2080 Super, Compare a 5700 XT, which is probably their most powerful recent card, to any of Nvidia's lineup. It matches most closely to the 2080 Super. Now, if like me, someone's looking for something a bit more powerful than that, the only option is an RTX 2080 Ti. And right now, currently, this graphics card costs, in the UK, £1,149, or if you live in America, $1,199. And for the performance gain over, for example, a used GTX 1080 Ti, which costs around £420 used on the used market average right now, which is about $500 in US dollars, it's really not worth it, considering the RTX 20 Ti performs around 20 to 25% more on average than that card. So, the RTX 2080 Ti brand new card really isn't worth the money right now. And that's because this year, both Nvidia and AMD are supposed to be releasing their brand new shiny GPUs. Nvidia are looking to release their Amphere, if that's how you pronounce it, architecture. And, looking at their previous launches and how long it's been between launches, it's been about every 2 years. The RTX series came out in, I believe, September, October 2018. Pascal came out in, summer 2016. The 900 series, from what I recall, came out in 2014. So you know what I'm saying? It's every 2 years. And there are also rumours that AMD are really looking up to, shake up the 4K video card market right now. So there have been lots of leaks and actually confirmation from Dr. Lisa Su, the AMD, the person in charge of all the products at AMD, that we're going to be getting brand new BIG Navi in 2020. So unless you're very impatient and you want to spend the money on an RTX 2080 Ti right now, I really think you should wait for this year because there's going to be some really good cards this year. A recent article from PC Games N talks about how AMD's new cards could potentially shake this market up. They go on to say, AMD is looking to disrupt high-end PC graphics in the same way that its Ryzen processors have disrupted the high-end CPU market. Speaking at a recent RX 5600 XT briefing, Radeon product management lead Mithan C hinted at the red team's plan for 4K domination once it's got the mainstream market dealt with. You know, I'm pretty sure here they're talking about, you know, mainstream market, what the 5600 XT graphics card basically is and what that's targeting. So most people, let's face it, aren't playing at 4K, and most people aren't looking for RTX 2080 Ti power right now. It's just too expensive. But then in the article they go on to say, but the reason AMD has given for the way it spec'd out their Radeon 5000 series is because it wants to cater for the vast majority of PC gamers first, before trying to take on the might of Nvidia at the very high performance end of the high graphics cards market. Just as Dr. Lisa Su has confirmed that BIG Navi is coming, C is confident that the high-end Radeon graphics are going to disrupt 4K. With the Radeon 5000 series, we are essentially covering 90-something% of total PC gamers today. You know, that's what I mentioned earlier. And so that's the reason why no 4K right now, is because the vast majority of them are at 1440p and 1080p. That doesn't mean a 4K capable GPU isn't coming. It is coming, but for here and now we want to focus on the vast majority of gamers. Now, as the article has said, and as, you know, the Radeon project lead have said, we also have confirmation from Dr. Lisa Su herself that we can expect what she calls BIG Navi in 2020.
So when you think about next year and the years to come, what kind of excites you and what are you focused on? I guess the easiest way to ask the question is, Lisa, do you have any hot goss?
Are you looking for secrets?
A little bit.
You know, I said 2020 is going to be a huge year for us, and I'm really, really excited. You know, if you just think about what we've talked about at CES, you know, what we're doing in laptops with the 4000 series and with the Threadripper 64 core and with 5600 XT, you know, my main message to our fans is this is just the beginning for us in 2020. And I've heard a little bit through, you know, Twitter and Reddit that people are wondering about, you know, BIG Navi. And, you know, I can say you're going to see BIG Navi in 2020.
Awesome.
There might be a few people wondering about Zen 3 as well. And I can tell you Zen 3 is doing really well. We're excited about it.
Exciting.
And I look forward to talking more about that later in 2020.
So that's why I think it's worth waiting before upgrading your GPU right now. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like as it will really help my channel, and subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.